What's going on, my psychedelic squadron? It's your boy Trooper here, man, and I'm about to go ahead and give you the 5 power-up players that you should go ahead and invest some coins into. Now, if you're new to the channel, you make sure you hit that like button. You make sure you hit the subscribe button. 2-piece those mofos. It'll help the channel grow tremendously. And then also, let me know down below what other power-up players that you would actually go ahead and put on this list as opposed to what I got up here. If you agree, let me know your opinions down below. But I'm going to go ahead and make this as quick as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the power-up players. First, I want to go ahead and clarify a few things. First, why you're trying to invest into these players. 2, when you should invest into these players. And then 3, when should you sell these players. So we're actually going to go ahead and look into, Drew Brees. Unfortunately, I'm on my no money spent team and I don't really have a whole lot of coins over here. But if I did have like maybe 100K, 200K to go ahead and, start putting into players, it would be into these Drew Brees cards right here, at least a few of them. So the reason I want to start off with, Drew Brees as an example is because he's really freaking cheap, and I already know there's probably not too many Drew Brees up on the auction block right now. Yeah, there's not really too many. So say Drew Brees were to get a card right now, right? You think these things are really gonna hold up for 3,000 coins? No, they're gonna get flooded, and people are gonna start buying these things right off the bat, and then they're gonna flip them and try to sell them for like 60, 50. And what are people gonna do? They hear he gets a new card out. They're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking, but it's already too late. They're probably gonna be up there for 50, 60, 40, maybe even 30. 30K is probably like a really good investment. And then next thing you know, people are buying them off the auction block, and next thing you know, you just made like what? After tax, probably about 24K profit off of just selling them for 30,000 coins, not to mention if you sell them for 40 or 50. But now that you kind of get the gist of it, and no, Drew Brees is not one of them, but you might as well go ahead and throw them in there as a bonus. So I'm going to be giving you 5 power up players I think you should invest into right now. There's really no particular order on like which players are which, but starting off with Alvin Kamara. Now, I actually went ahead and sniped him a little bit earlier than this when he was going for about 4 or 5K, and it is about 8 o'clock-ish when I'm recording this, so it's gonna be a little higher than usual throughout the day. Not a whole lot of packs are being pulled either, but if you can invest into Alvin Kamara for about maybe like, I'd say anything less than like 6K, 6 or 7K or so, if you can get him in that price range, you already know he is due for an upgrade, man. He's got an 83 overall card. It plays pretty decent, but it's kind of outdated after this wave of Team Diamond cards that we just got. And we already know that Alvin Kamara is a fan favorite in the NFL, so I can definitely see them giving him a card really, really soon. Sticking with the halfback theme, we're going to go ahead and go with Ezekiel Elliott. Last year's leading rusher, a mainstay in the Madden community. A lot of people are quote-unquote Cowboys fans, but honestly, he is probably one of the best investments because, I mean, he's got a pretty decent amount of power-up cards on the auction block right now, and that's only because not too many people are really looking to get an Ezekiel Elliott card just yet. His 86 overall isn't really all that good, but I can guarantee they're gonna go ahead and give him an upgrade fairly soon, kind of how they did last year with the ultimate kickoff promotion. So it only makes sense to me that you should invest in him now, because damn it, when he does get an upgrade here, it's gonna be a hell of a lot harder to find his card for at least a few days for around this price. But if you want to capitalize on this power up market as a whole, you got to really pay attention to when these cards get released, because if you invest into these cards now and then you wait until like a few hours later after they already have been like announced, you're not gonna get the maximum amount of profit that you can get from these cards, like especially for Ezekiel Elliott card. And a card that I was really wondering why they was at such a low overall, like my first Madden 20 video, is Aaron Rodgers. And the only reason I see that is because he was basically playing off one leg last year, but I can also see them giving him an upgrade, kind of like how they did. They lowballed a couple of people, but they ended up giving them like immediate upgrades, like right off the bat. George Kittle is actually a prime example on not necessarily lowballing them, but not giving them the appropriate rating I feel like they should have had from the start of Madden. So they go ahead and give them a quick upgrade to keep people kind of in that grind happy mode. I feel like the Aaron Rodgers card is like the next best example of that, but I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers is going to be getting a card really soon. So I suggest you go ahead and invest into these cards. Probably, I would say, look more towards the like 6K range. 1700 isn't gonna make a difference, but don't go buying them for like 10K, 9K, just in case you do miss your window of opportunity to go ahead and resell them as soon as this card gets announced. Out of all the cards that I think got really snubbed in their overalls, it had to have been Quentin Nelson. Bare minimum, my dude should have been like an 83 overall, like right up there with Saquon Barkley. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know how you guys personally feel about that. Let me know down below. But I think that Quentin Nelson is definitely due for an upgrade. He is one of the best offensive linemen and only entering his second year. Now, granted, you know, you want to get some consistency as far as like next years and years, but I think that people know that Quentin Nelson is a monster. They know what he did for that offensive line, and I can't really sit here and talk about stats necessarily, other than the fact that Andrew Luck was like the least sacked quarterback last year. Coming from like right before his injuries, he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. I'm pretty sure that Quentin Nelson is in line to get an upgrade on his cards pretty soon. Now, as far as how much I would invest into him, I'd buy him for the 6K range, because there really isn't too many players of him on the PS4 side of things, but I'm pretty sure you can probably snap him from a little bit under that. I think I spent like almost 5K on him for my team. So if you can get him for that 4 to 6K range, I would probably go ahead and I'd buy like 5 to 10 players. Honestly, anywhere between then, and then you just got to make sure you sell them at the appropriate time. And the next person on this list is going to be T.Y. Hilton. Honestly, I don't even know why his power up card is going for so cheap. Like right here, it's under 2K right now. But T.Y. Hilton may not be the fastest wide receiver, may not be the tallest wide receiver. With his power up card having about 78 speed, I'm pretty sure his speed with being 78 just for his base power up card can be a lot better if you power him up all the way up to his 84 overall version. But the fact that he always has really consistent good route running, he has pretty good decent spec catch. He has always been in like the top 10 in receivers, if I'm not mistaken, for like the past few years, even when Andrew Luck wasn't healthy. I'm pretty sure that T.Y. Hilton's going to get an upgrade pretty soon. If not pretty soon, you can definitely sit on his card. He's going for so cheap. I would invest until about, I'd say close to 10. If you don't feel comfortable putting in that much effort into T.Y. Hilton, at least put 5 into him. That's about 10K, maybe a little over like 12K. And the benefits from that 12K that you invested could literally turn into probably close to 100 if you play your cards right. But those were my 5 players that you should go ahead and invest into very early, so when it does happen, you guys making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of coins off of these semi kind of cheap power up players. But if you found this to be helpful, you make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. 2-piece those mofos that help the channel grow tremendously. And yet again, I only put 5. There's way more than 5 players that could have made this list. So if you have any other players that you think would be a great addition to this list, make sure you leave them down below. Let's get some dialogue going. Stay tuned for more Madden 20 content such as this, and until next time, fellas, peace. Okay, Bar, come on, Bar. Okay. Oh, wow, 21. Woo. Okay, all right.